Hello, it's Jay here again and welcome to another tutorial. So in this lesson we're going to continue on exactly where we left off in the last video, and we just filled out the driving state, so that's done for now at least, and we'll move on to the coasting function, and we'll begin by saying if open and close brackets, inside the brackets current speed, and we actually want the greater than minimum speed. Let's get that straight into the comments. If current speed is greater than min, then we want our underscore current speed, we want minus equal, and the coasting slowdown value, and we'll just say times time dot delta time. We'll close that line off, and we'll put that straight into the comments. Then decrease current speed by coasting slowdown, and let's just copy this first line. We'll paste that in. We'll change that to a less than symbol. And we just want to prevent a negative value. So if it does try and go below the minimum speed, we just set it to equal the minimum speed. We've done this quite a few times now. So current speed equals underscore minimum speed. And we'll put that in the comments, then make current speed equal to min. And now's as good a time as any to call the vehicle movement function. So we'll do that. We'll open and close brackets. We'll close that line off. And we'll get straight into the comments. Call vehicle movement function. And then we're going to say if open and close brackets, and now we'll work on some inputs. So inside the brackets we're going to say input dot, and we want the get axis this time. So we'll open and close brackets, inside the brackets little speech marks, and we want vertical again, between the brackets greater than 0. Straight into the comments if vertical input is greater than 0. So obviously if we have been driving and we are moving and we lift off the vertical input, then we switch to coasting. However, if we then press vertical again, we want to switch back to driving. So I'm just going to copy one of these lines where we switch states, and I'll just copy and paste driving in there and there. So let's copy that and we'll paste that in below. We'll change it to a less than 0, which means we're pressing back on the analog stick or the D-pad or the keyboard, whatever you're using. In this instance, we want to change to braking, so I can just copy that line straight out. And at the bottom here, we'll just say if open and close brackets, inside the brackets underscore current speed double equals our minimum speed, into the comments. So we'll say if current speed equals the min, let's come below, and we'll just copy one of these lines again where we change states. And in fact, let's just copy that line because this is what we're switching to, the vehicle idling. So basically, we have not pressed any inputs, but we have run out of momentum, i.e. our current speed equals min. We just set state to vehicle idling. So I know I've gone through this function quite quickly, but there's nothing in here we haven't done numerous times before. So I'm hoping there isn't any sort of questions about this, but as always, if there is, please leave them in the comments below and I will try and answer for you. So let's come to the braking, and we can actually make this fairly easy on ourselves. So let's copy this first if block, we'll paste that in, and rather than coasting slow down, we actually want the braking force. And we'll put that straight into the comments. We'll also make sure that we cannot have a negative by copying in the very next if block. And in fact, we can copy and paste this in as well for the vehicle movement. So with that in place, we haven't got a lot more to do, and it's this block here now that we actually need, the very last if block, where if we then reach a minimum speed, which means we've absolutely stopped, then set back to vehicle idling. And I think we can get the reversing function done as well today. So the first thing we'll do is copy in that vehicle movement, but we actually want to come here, and I'm just going to paste in vehicle reverse movement, and we'll paste it in there as well. So, and in fact I'll put this at the top, we'll say if open and close brackets underscore current speed is less than the maximum reversing speed. Let's get that into the comments. If current speed is less than max, and in fact we can, let's copy this line where we apply the braking force. We'll just paste that in, and in this instance we're going to change it from a minus to a plus. So current speed plus equals, and we want acceleration speed, sorry, and we'll say then increase the current speed by acceleration. And I'll put this at the bottom again because I want to keep everything sort of uniformed the way it's set out within the function. So let's paste that in. So if input get axis vertical, I'm going to say greater than or equal to 0, and let's change that greater than or equal to 0. And if that's the case, we want to change function to the coasting reverse. And let's put that in the comments, and we'll tidy up the comments as well. And I think we'll leave it here for this lesson. We've actually got quite a lot done. we've just got these two functions to complete, and then we can actually begin testing out the script, although it is not complete yet. I'm sure you've all realised there's no steering in place yet, and various other things. We will be working on the steering in a separate video, because we're not just going to have the steering on and off, we're going to have a variable rate of steering, which is why I want to do that separately, but I think we'll leave it here for now. So as always, I hope you enjoyed this lesson, I hope to see you next time, and until then, as always, bye for now.